Can you hear me now? I somehow merged the number 2 and number 3 together. Could you please split those out for me? It's on page 56, the balanced scorecard approach. You had one was training, and then the second one I had was resident satisfaction or input.
Sure, I can give that one. I have an entire presentation on the balanced scorecard. If you want to see that, pin 2 and 4, pull that up. There are the 4 elements. The last element, if you think of it as a tree, we're trying to climb the tree. At the top of the tree are the financial goals that we have, and that's how we're measuring people financially. That basis is going to be training, so that's step 1, the balanced scorecard. Step 2 is actually going to be focusing on the internal processes, measuring them, such as how long is the check-in time at the golf shop, how long does it take for me to get my hamburger when I order it, things like that. Obviously, if we focus on training first, then the next step, internal processes, should be where we want them to be. The third piece of that then comes, how do we measure homeowner member satisfaction? And that's where we relate to member surveys. And that can be applied in pretty much any department. And I know talking about this is something he wants to look at too. And then finally, the financial measurements. We have our budget, etc., things like that. But the problem with a lot of, we're not alone, the problem with a lot of clubs, associations, homeowner associations, is that we're driven just by looking at the budget. But again, the budget is the end result of really asking membership, homeowners, what do we want? So, does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you.
How did you derive the percentages? 60% of the homes have one golfer. We have 1,406 homes. 50% would be 700, and we have less than 700 golf. Do
we have almost 900 people in the gym system keeping a handicap. Now, a lot of those people are going to play once, but when we went to look at the gym system, there's, I believe, Kevin, how many, 930 something? Yeah, registered in the gym system for a handicap area.
There are about 900 people who played golf here at least one round last year. They're not all in the gym system. That's where we've got to bridge the gap between roughly 300, 350 prepaid versus 900 others. And where is that other group playing? Sorry. Yeah, the difference between the prepaid number, which is 350 or so, versus the 900 that are playing golf, if not here somewhere. We need to bridge that gap. And that's why I was asking about, you're right, changing the model we have right now. That before we go to increased assessments, we need to get the people, the residents who are not playing golf here back on this golf course.
Valerie, the 60% we took straight from the member survey we were given.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. Oh, I'm sorry, did you ask her too? Okay, that's what I thought. In the statistics early on, where you talk about declines and different things, I understand the decline in golf, and that's across the board with respect to age and health issues, among other things. But I also noticed that there was a slight decline in food and beverage and bar and that sort of thing. What do you attribute that to? The same factors? I mean, less people were coming in. I mean, it wasn't real significant, but it was obviously a downward increase. So, what do you attribute that to?
Actually, Neil, it's due to competition, and that's from competition outside the gates, outside the gates of the community.
My next question is, what is the rationale? You kind of alluded to it, but we're simplifying golf memberships to one level. I think we have, in the prepaid community, we have, as Russ just pointed out to me, we have the seasonal, the 9-hole, and the regular, annual prepaid year-round. So what's your rationale for doing that? I mean, you said to simplify things, but I think a lot of the golfers in those particular things really like it. So are we going to drive people away by doing that? I'm just asking for the rationale. I'm not making a judgment call on that.
Well, that's a great question, and really it's because in our experience, the fewer number of membership categories you have within any particular, in this example, the less strife there tends to be. That's just from our experience. The more we slice it, density more flexibility, but
Thank you. Any questions on this end? Bob?
Question one, do I get 4 questions now? 2. Can you go to page 44? Can you put it up on the view graph? On the projector? Let me see if I understand this correctly. If we were to align ourselves with Sierra's, then we should be charging $9 more in assessment. Is that correct?
correct.
We should be deriving $3 more revenue stream for member services and others,
Correct.
and $5 more revenue stream for food and beverage, and $17 less in users fees for golf course and pro shop. Correct? Then we would align ourselves with Sierra's.
Correct.
First question, how do we generate $5 more in food and beverage when food and beverage loses money? This seems to be counterintuitive. Why would you want to have more people going to the restaurant if we're losing money? How do you generate $5 more in food and beverage? That's my first question. The second one, this is 1B. Member services and others. How do we generate $3 more in member services?
Bob, I would say, first of all, that this is an illustration. We're not suggesting, I don't know that we're suggesting that you move to exactly what percentages the Sierra averages are. But I would say that in food, and again, these are revenues, not, so it gives no, it doesn't affect the bottom line, but the way you get more food and beverage revenue is by promoting it to the members that aren't using the facility. Because, it doesn't, I mean, that's the answer. I mean, I don't also know what's in your member services line, but this is merely for illustration.
Well, I was just curious because food and beverage loses money. We lose like 12 cents on the dollar.
Right? But it's, again,
This is
again, this is for, illustrative.
Okay, question 1C. In some slides afterwards, you say the optimal pricing model that you're suggesting is in a previous slide. Where is that previous slide? I thought it was this one, 44. Yeah, which is the basis for my comments. How would we align ourselves with Sierra's when that's undoable for us? When food and beverage loses money every time they generate $1, you're losing 12 cents. So how do you ultimately get a $5 revenue stream?
The answer to that would be to do more outside profitable business. No, I'm not saying we're going to do that. I'm saying the way to achieve that is to do more outside business, which isn't what the residents want.
Do other Sierras do that? Do they use outside
Yes.
functions as well?
Yes.
All right, my question 2, would be the minimum, the same thought process. If the objective is to get more people up here and more people are generating losses, isn't that counterintuitive also? To have a food and beverage minimum when you're losing money?
Bob, I used to believe that for every additional dollar, you would lose more money, but I think there's a point to which additional sales will generate profit.
I'll have to ask Phil about that, because why aren't we doing that now? If that were the case.
My exact comment to Kevin when he made that comment, I wrote on a napkin, wouldn't that increase the loss? And it would. It would make, doing more food, dinner and lunch, doing more food and beverage business and dinner and lunch would make the loss grow. Yes, it would.
You have fixed
We lose
costs.
money on lunch and dinner.
You have fixed costs and variable costs. Your fixed costs remain the same regardless of the quantity of people. The variable costs